Hello and welcome back, most illustrious members of the Detail. I'm your host D, also known as MTF Doom on the internet, and today we're going to go through the pool 4 and 5 cards that you might want to consider picking up if you find them in your shop. I hope you enjoy. So, we're not doing the tier list thing today. We did that with the other video, but it was kind of out of date. This is the most up to date, so it's not going to look as like clean and memey, and you're not going to be able to just skip to the end and pause. You're going to have to actually like listen to my queer ass just talk for a little bit. Sucks to suck, I guess. If you enjoy listening to my queer ass talk for a little bit, you should probably subscribe. You probably already are. Most of you are. It's actually pretty incredible. You could join the Discord. This video came about because one of my Discord users asked for it. Thanks, Grackle Flint. It's friend of the channel. Friend of the channel, Grackle Flint. All right, listen. My shop dicked me today because I was really hoping for Bast in the refresh or Darkhawk, and I didn't get. I got friggin' Kang. I'm not happy about it, so I'm making this video instead. Okay. We're going to just go in order, alphabetical order as they exist here. Someone did point out Black Panther is pool 4. I see that now. Thank you, person who pointed that out in the last video. Bast, huge fan. Bast goes in the negative deck. It goes in the Darkhawk deck. It's like Darkhawk Bishop. It's basically Hoog's dudes. Bast goes in that. I forgot to mention that in that video as well. Someone pointed that out. That a really cool subscriber pointed that out. We had a disagreement on a really early video, but he was like very like cool about it, and we talked it through. Big fan of that guy. I forget his name. Also, I've never asked if I could give him a shout out, but he pointed this out that Hoog also plays Bast, and honestly, I think Bast is probably better than Darkhawk in that list anyway. Definitely, Bast is on a personal note, Bast is going to be my first pool 4 pickup, just so we're clear. I'm also going to try to gauge whether or not I think they're likely to fall to pool 3, and I can look really fucking foolish in about 6 months, but I don't think Bast got downgraded fairly recently to pool 4, and I don't think is going to be in the running to get downgraded just yet. I think Panther, while the same is true, I actually think Panther might have even been more recent. I think Panther is more likely to be pool 3. This effect is more pool 3. I actually think that my hot take is that fairly soon they're going to announce that there are going to be perpetual pool 4 cards as there are pool 5. If you don't know this, the big bads, so Kang, Galactus, and Thanos are the big bads, and they will always be pool 6, they've announced. I say always, they said we reserve the right to make them not pool 6, but we don't have any plans to do that. So with that being said, I guess we'll do that right now. If you're interested in any of those 3, they're going to be a safe pickup because they're not ever going to drop, right? Like they're going to be pool 6 forever, or pool 5 forever. They're going to be pool 6, a new, more difficult to reach pool. They're going to be pool 5 forever. And so if you're interested in any of those, there's 2 wolves inside of you. One of them wants to be really efficient and only get cards that you think are going to be in pool 4 for a while that you want to play with. And one of them wants to get the fun cards even if they're going to downgrade next month. And that's me always. So those 3 are always going to be safe. If you want to buy those, I think Thanos is the best of the 3. I think Kang is the freest to include in decks. I really don't like Kang's design. I think I've talked about this on the channel. I've definitely talked about it in Discord. I don't like that it incentivizes free snaps on 5. I don't like that it'll replace itself. If it was your draw, I get that that's not always the case, but I just don't like Kang as a design philosophy. And I will reiterate, if you ever get a video, a clip of you Cosmoing your opponent trying to Kang you, I want to see it. I will pay $1 for it. I was gonna say I'll pay money, but I don't got money. I'll pay $1 for it though. All right, back on topic. Oh my lord, I am I am not on it today. I'm so sorry. Okay, Bast, high recommend, especially if you like that kind of like Bishop Storm deck, the gender reveal I call it. Black Panther, good card. I would call it like a C tier, mostly because it I think is a likely candidate to get downgraded because that like I said, that effect is pretty pool 3. It's like something like Ghost, I think is going to stay. Ghost and Negasonic are going to stay in pool 4 for a long time when they do downgrade, because I think these effects are more like intricate than like double this card's power on reveal. But Panther's a perfectly fine card. Very, very interestingly, when it doubles, it still isn't shangable, and so like it can get doubled and then get Zola'd, and then the Zolas will. It makes it like it's like kind of frustrating to play around for that reason, but yeah. Panther's definitely like a C, maybe a B. Darkhawk, Darkhawk is really good when Thanos is good, and it's like fine otherwise. I think you don't want to be going all in on Darkhawk, and I think it's the same as the other tier list. I would put it kind of like in the A tier, especially if you already have Bast, because these two are good friends, like with the decks you're going to play them in. Outside of that, maybe more on the C tier than the B tier. Dazzler, just wait until you open it. Even if you want to play with it, it's not. Don't get Dazzler. Very poor pickup. I also think it's just one of the ones that like. I think it's weak enough that they're gonna be like, yeah, she's going into pool 3. Like, I think that's kind of how they pick them for pool 3. We covered Galactus. I think Galactus is almost the weakest. It's like maybe more fun than Kang, but Kang is like more no nonsense. Like Kang is just kind of free value in so many ways, and Galactus is like pretty fun in the ways that Kang isn't. So if you find that to be really fun, it's like, you know, it's a safe bet. So if you find this to be fun, by all means. Ghost, no, I don't ever see it, and I don't think it matters. I don't think this effect is good. You know, you can build around it. You can make it like you can do interesting stuff with it, but interesting does not mean strong. And yeah, like not a fan of the implementation on this card. Yeah, I don't know. This needs to get buffed. I almost think. Don't pick this one up. Kitty Pryde. If you don't know, Kitty Pryde is broken, but only in the literal sense. She broke the game as of today. The game servers, I actually experienced this bug myself. If your opponent tried to play Kitty Pryde in some certain sets of scenarios, it would just crash your game and neither of you could reconnect. So I guess we're getting some kickback from Second Dinner at some point, like a compensation package for that. Kitty Pryde is pretty good. Again, it's kind of the same with Bast. Like, if you are interested in playing this deck and you already have Bast, Kitty Pryde is a fine pickup. I think she's going to be okay for a very long time. I think she's the newest Series 5, so she has the longest time before she drops to pool 3 just by that standard. And I think I don't know. She appears to be kind of bugged. I mean, explicitly, she shut the servers down today. But I think she appears to be kind of bugged in a lot of the interactions. Beast doesn't retain the cost reduction when you bounce her. Like, I think that is necessary, but it isn't really how you'd think this card works. But I think there's really cool stuff you can do with this. I'm kind of hoping that if I open a pool 5, it's going to be her. But I don't think I'm going to buy her. Null is another one where I think if and when they announce that there are going to be perpetual pool 4 cards, Null will be one of them. I don't think that he can get downgraded to pool 3. Just because like you need a lot of other stuff for Null to be like good. And I don't know. I feel like that's a good thing to have in pool 4, like perpetually. Not that it's very much in Magic we call it a win more card. I would not pick up Null unless they announce that he is perpetually in pool 4. If he has the ability to drop to pool 3, just wait until that happens and open him. If you happen to random into Galactus, maybe you can grab null out of your shop. But other than that, he's very much a win more card. He is not, I don't think he's good enough on his own. He needs a lot of other stuff to go right, and even then, he doesn't really win you games that you probably weren't going to win anyway. Or were, yeah. He's going to win you the games you were already going to win, basically. That's what win more means. Master Mold has, by numbers, been pretty underwhelming. Again, by effect, can be pretty cool. There's this unfortunate thing. I probably wouldn't pick up Master Mold, because if Master Mold becomes good, the game is bad. Any meta where clogging your opponent's hand with sentinels is like an optimal strategy, or even like a good strategy, is not a good experience. And I think that it would actually cause them second dinner to change how Master Mold works, if that became the case. So like, if this became too good, Master Mold would get nerfed, because this is like just friggin', it's abysmal to play against decks like that. I probably don't pick up Master Mold. MODOK, 5/8, discard your hand. It was the last season. The season pass cards, I feel like, get fast tracked. From what I've seen, they seem to get fast tracked down the ladder, down the pools. So even though he's pool 5 right now, I wouldn't expect him to stay pool 5. You might want to pick him up at pool 4. There's like cool stuff you can do, but not strong stuff, as we've covered with some other cards. Cool stuff and strong stuff are different, but if you find this effect to be cool enough, by all means pick him up. But you probably, if you're watching this video near release, probably already have him. Negasonic, very bad card. Don't pick up Negasonic Teenage Warhead. This is very bad. Do not. Sauron, probably the next like contender for decent pool 4 cards. Honestly, looking at all of them laid out like this, the pool 4 and 5 cards are kind of underwhelming, aren't they? This people were really worried that this was going to be just patently broken, like when it came out, and it's now dropped to pool 4, and like hardly anyone's playing it. They were like, yeah, but you could hit Red Skull with it. It's like, yeah, you could. Very nice. It's a 3/3. Like, are you gonna play it in the same deck you play Shuri? I don't know. Probably not. You're like, you can't play it. You can play it with Typhoid Mary. Yeah, it says hand and deck, which is good. If this just said deck, it would be stone unplayable. But it says hand and deck, but it's still not very good. I would not pick up Sauron. I don't think it's very good. Sentry, here's the one that actually sparked this debate. Sentry was in my shop earlier today, and I was like, it would be, I think, my first pool 4 pickup, because I've been pretty good about only grabbing pool 3 cards. Showing some goddamn restraint for once in your life, D. And Sentry was in my shop, and I have enough for a pool 4 card, and I was like debating. We talked about it on Discord, and I decided against it. I was like, you know what? If Bast showed up right after I bought Sentry as my next refresh, I'd be really upset. And then fucking Kang showed up, and I was like, all right, cool. I can't even make a video today because I wanted to build a new deck and make a video about it. But now we're doing this. Sentry was almost cool enough that I picked him up, even though he would be suboptimal. I don't think this card is very good, but I am playing a garbage deck right now. And it would have been fun in that one, but like, he's fine. He's fine with Carnage or Deathlock, right? I wish that a mid-range deck that was just like a mid-range destroy deck that was like Bucky Barnes and Carnage and Nova and maybe Mysterio, right? And you eat one of the clones. Like, I wish all that was good. It's just kind of not. Like, the best thing you can do with this is donate the Void with Viper. And it's like, yeah, that's like, you better have Viper. Or else Sentry's very bad. Shadow King. I've never seen someone play. I don't know. This bad. These are all bad. Why am I making this video? All pool 4 cards are bad. I say that we haven't gotten to Shuri yet. We'll say Sentry's like a C. Sentry is like a maybe buy this if you are slightly more interested in fun, but maybe not expressly good cards than I am, just like 1% more. You would have bought Sentry. But I am strong of will and fat of ass, so I did not. Shadow King I wouldn't buy. I don't think Shadow King like what does he do? Like, Luke Cage already exists. If you want to increase your own, if your dudes are getting their power reduced, Luke Cage already exists and is a more efficient way of doing this. I know that it's here and it's all cards, so you can reduce your opponent's power, but like, we'll skip Shauna. If they're doing Shuri stuff, they're already covering their Shuri stuff with like a Cosmo or an armor. Now, I guess if the answer that they're covering it with is armor, and you can somehow play a 4/3 and then still overpower the Red Skull that they played that went from 26 down to only 13. You see, like even me trying to describe a good situation for Shadow King, you're going, no, that's not going to work, right? It's not going to work. Shadow King's not good. Shuri, we'll skip Shauna. She's very bad. Shuri. Shuri's the #1 card you should probably pick up in Series 4. It's unfortunate. It's basically optimal. Like, of all these cards, Shuri is the card. She's also, I think, fairly likely to go down to Pool 3. Soonish. I don't know. There's a huge demand for her, and I think that demand might weigh on the developers enough that they push her down to Pool 3 so people can have more access to her. Because they obviously aren't interested in fixing this deck. Silver Surfer. I think a sneaky Surfer is one of the better plays you could make right now. And against anything other than a Shuri list. And I'm surprised I don't see more of him. But he's at best, he's only a C anyway because of the nerf. But I think he's better than people. I think he's better than his play rate. I guess that's how I'll say it. He's better than his play rate. He's better than people give him credit for, but the nerf hurts. Stature is definitely don't buy at Pool 5. But maybe do buy at Pool 4. I really like this effect. I think that like more cards should have this. This costs 1 if your opponent did something this game. Like, I think Miles Morales should be like, if you moved an opponent's card or if one of your cards moved, like, it should be slightly more limited on what moved, but then it should just be cost 1, right? Like, it's not hard to get it to trigger, but you have to make it work and then you get the payoff rather than having it be, I don't know. I like that this is worded like this and not like if your opponent discarded last turn or something. Definitely like a 1/7. Great on turn 6. Absolutely. Not for Series 5. Super Scroll, I think, is perfectly acceptable at Series 4. He's not very good, but he is a cool piece of tech. It's like I talked about with Goose. I think Super Scroll should actually probably be like almost a Pool 3 card. It's basically just a tech card. Like, I think this very strongly that tech cards really should be widely accessible. I think Shadow King should be a Pool 3 card, like, especially for how fucking bad he has got him. Super Scroll should be like, it is like a fine pickup, especially if the ongoing decks get better or whatever. If you find, but like, he's not good right now, but he should be in more people's collection because he's a tech card. I don't know how else to describe it. I probably wouldn't buy him, but you should have access to him. Thanos we already covered. Valkyrie is the other card that I am very interested in, especially at Series 4, and especially with that effect. It's another card that I think is going to stay in Series 4 for a long time, if they implement a perpetual Series 4 thing going on. But even if not, I think this effect is really cool. I think it challenges you as a player, both in your deck building and your play. You have to think about priority and ordering, and I really like this card. I really, really like this card. And I can't wait to play with it, but I don't have it yet. And then Zabu is just like a key player in some control decks, but not... I don't know. Zabu's not that good right now, but the more good 4s that come out, the better Zabu is. So Zabu is going to keep getting better. Zabu and MODOK both have this issue of like not being great right now, but probably being fine pickups. Again, not MODOK at Series 5, but MODOK at Series 4. Just because like the more good 4s that get printed, the better Zabu gets. For MODOK, it's the more cards that say, when you discard this card, the better MODOK gets. And those cards are going to keep getting printed. Those cards will get printed forever, and eventually MODOK will be, like, quite good. That's probably when you would pick him up. The same is true for Zabu. Like, if you want to play a Zabu Sarah, like, you know, that's, like, a cool list. That the Sarah Zabu sort of control-y lists are really cool. There's no arguing that they're not really cool, like, lists. But I don't see them seeing a lot of success. So again, it's if it's fun over efficiency, by all means. This hasn't really been a tier list. It's been kind of a tier list. I hope that you found it elucidating, enlightening, or enriching, because I hope that of all my content. But this has been just kind of a quick one to try to give you an idea of, you know, I guess shorthand, it's going to be Valk, Shuri, Valk, Shuri, maybe Darkhawk, maybe Panther, maybe Bast. Panther with the caveat that if he drops down to pool 3, you're not getting a refund. So, you know, just be careful. Other than that, like, I think everything else here is pretty skippable. I know a bunch of people in my Discord are waiting, cashing in on a perpetual pool 5 card. I think that's like a very good play, especially if you find any of them particularly compelling. But those would be my pickups. They're going to be my pickups, in fact. And everything else is dedicated to if you find it more fun than efficient. And I really do recommend that you use your tokens in that way as well. If you find something to be really fun, you probably should use your tokens to just to have fun. Like, you should have fun with the game. All right. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow.